Hi everyone! I said we were going live. I forgot to put a little title up there, so if it drops down, it's just gonna say, I'm starting a live video, so here we go. We have a couple things that are gonna be fun that we're going to talk about here on tonight's live. I invited you here. I'm trying this with AirPods to see if the sound quality is good, so let's do it. I am trying this here. Okay, Katie is here. I'm going to invite Katie onto live video, but Katie, give me a few seconds here, because we're going to go through some of the housekeeping things first, and then I'm going to bring you on as part two. So, that worked though. You requesting to be in it, it worked. So this is my first time that I'm inviting somebody on a live, and I'm really excited about it. First things first, let's go ahead and draw a winner. I was going to hold up the sheet for you, but I guess at this point it doesn't matter because you've already turned in your entries for the Reset for Success Challenge. So counselors turned in a game board after listening to the first 3 episodes of my podcast in January, and then they signed up for a live workshop. I say they, I hope it was you. I hope you are the winner. I'm going to spin this little wheel on my computer over here. I know I can't share the screen on my phone, but I'm going to spin. It's called the Wheel of Names, and anyone who entered is on that Wheel of Names. Maybe we'll get to hear it. I'm going to go ahead and click it, and then I'm going to tell you who won and what you won. Okay, can you hear it spinning? And then it's going to clap and cheer, and it's going to tell us who is the winner. Okay, it's Johnielle. I think Johnielle is probably here. I see just joined. Johnielle, you are the winner of a Counselor Clique mug, the Arctic Tumbler mug that says Counselor Clique, a pack of stickers, and a $50 TPT gift card. So yay. Thank you all who participated in the Reset for Success Challenge. I hope that it was a great way to kick off your 2023 and your new semester. Johnielle, I knew you'd be excited about that. There you go. So we have our winner. It has been drawn from the Wheel of Names. The next thing I wanted to do was answer some frequently asked questions about the Clique Collaborative before I bring Katie on. Just a minute of things that, and she might get to some of these too. Maybe some of these will be things that, no, I think these are all just ones that y'all have been asking the last couple of days. So I jotted them down. First, you've seen a lot about the Clique Collaborative. If you haven't already, it's my high school counseling membership that opens twice a year to high school counselors, where we use this community to talk practical professional development. While we're in this community, I want you to feel engaged, equipped, connected with other high school counselors. So that is the goal of the Clique Collaborative. Like I said, we open doors twice a year because it kind of goes with the season of school, the beginning of each new semester. And that's when we let new members in. And so doors close tonight for that. So people have asked, can I buy monthly and then upgrade? I want to try it out. There's no 1 month free or half off for a month. It's just like any other membership, where when you join, if you don't want to be in it anymore, you cancel before that next month. But in the same way, you could upgrade as well. I could, there are ways that I can do that on the back end. So if you're well, I'm interested in joining for a year and saving 2 months free, saving $38, I think it is. Because that's what you get when you do it for the whole year. You're paying for 10 months instead of 12. Or you could do it monthly and pay $19 a month. So that was a question that I got. Can my school reimburse me is another question that I got. And I actually just sent an email to someone today and gave them a PDF copy of their receipt. I think it sends you that anyway, but maybe just not in a nice PDF format. So I sent over that PDF receipt for her to turn into her school for reimbursement. Now, I cannot decide if your school is going to give you the money for this or choose to reimburse you, but it can be done. If your school has agreed to that, or they come back later and say that they will pay for your professional development, or maybe when it rolls over to a new budget or something, you can have that PDF and you could submit that to them. So I'm happy to send over a receipt if you need that. I think you get some sort of confirmation in your email, but if you want a nicer looking receipt, I can send that over to you as well. Someone in the live workshop last night asked and I'm repeating this because I feel if one person has a question, then probably 10 more have that question, right? Do you have to pay each month? And the answer to that is you don't have to manually go in and pay. You don't get an invoice each month. It's just you signed up for Disney Plus and your card is charged each month if you choose to do the monthly option. If you do annually, which I try and do for almost everything that I can afford and that I'm trying to, I just want to minimize my headspace on things that I have to remember to pay for or that get taken out without me thinking about. So, either way, you set it and forget it until you want to cancel it. So that is how the membership like payment style works. And then another really popular question I was getting is, can I get that curriculum map? I was giving a bonus for showing up live to any of those 3 workshops that we just did over the last 2 weeks. And the bonus was a high school counseling curriculum map. So this is not available anywhere else, is only available when you show up live to those workshops, with one exception. It is inside the membership. I kind of figure if you join the membership, you probably came to one of those workshops at some point. But also for all members, I recorded that workshop. It is in the private podcast actually I haven't put in there yet. I'm going to take the best one, put it inside that private podcast for members, and that curriculum map is also in there. I just kind of feel like that's like a bonus that members should get. It's not available anywhere else. It's not on my TPT store. I don't give it away at any other time during the year. It is just exclusively as a show up bonus when you come to the workshop, and then it's available inside the membership. So that is a high school counseling curriculum map. That's a very fancy Excel spreadsheet that you can use to plan your year so that you're being proactive instead of reactive in your high school counseling program. It has one that's already filled in on the template, and then it also has a tab that's a blank template that you could completely fill in on your own if you're planning your year, or you could even like link to your own Google Drive things and just keep it all in one place and you can share with your department. So that would be a great addition, I'm sure, to your planning for your year or your semester. So get that at this point, the only way you can get that is by joining the membership. So I was like joking with my husband. I'm like, I guess if it's worth $19 to someone, like, then you could join, but there's so much more value as soon as you enter the membership, more than just the high school counseling curriculum map. So if that's what you really want, join the membership and you can grab it. Okay, if anyone has any questions, I'll scroll in here. I didn't see any other questions related to the Clique Collaborative, but there was one, what are you doing for school counseling week? And we could talk about that another time because it's not really related to what we're talking about in here tonight, but I'd be happy to talk about that. The comments disappear after this live goes away, so I always want to make sure I get anything that we missed. Feel free to ask any questions that you might have about the membership as I'm talking to Katie. I have some guiding questions because I told her I was going to interview her, but I didn't want to put her on the spot. So I gave her just some simple questions to kind of introduce her to you all and kind of give her experience as she has been a member of the Clique Collaborative. One other thing, look, I've got this right here, new members already. I'll tell you some of the people that recently just joined this afternoon: Pam, Charisse, Lauren, Audra, Allison, Robin, Sarah. I want to be in your house right now, shooting off confetti cannons and rolling out a red carpet right to your front doorstep. But that would be weird because we don't know each other in real life, but hopefully we'll get to meet at some point in life. Let me go ahead and welcome Katie onto. Katie, if you can hit request so it pops up, I might be able to scroll back up. Oh, there you are. Okay. I'm accepting it, I think. I think oh, here we go.
Says it's connecting.
Hey, Katie! This is so fun.
Hi. I know, this is
worked way easier
weird.
than I thought it was going to.
I know,
give it a second, and then
did,
here we
it
go.
did. So I will pre-apologize if a
That would
cat
be
or
fun and
something walks
exciting.
across because
That would only
or a
add to the
kid.
excitement,
So
I think. Okay, introduce yourself to Instagram high school counseling world. Tell us what your school is like, how long you've been a counselor, that kind of stuff.
I'm Katie Farrell. I have been a school counselor. This is my 11th year. I have been in high school the whole time. That is where I definitely found my place and my calling. I wouldn't want to do any other grade level. I work and have always worked at a public high school. Right now, the school that I'm in, we have 700 students, and there's 2 counselors, so me and one other counselor. And, we are a very suburban high school close to, a larger city, but our population is also very diverse for where we live, just because of the demographics and things that our school zone falls in. So I have been at this high school for 9 of my 11 years. So
I didn't
it's
realize
awesome.
your school, I'm going to say it's small. Like, I feel like that's a small school for, yeah.
It's small. It is small. Yeah. And people think that because it's small, that means, that we have a small caseload, but that's not, that just means there's less people
for your school.
Yeah.
So,
Right. Right. We're small and we're a community school also. So like a lot of our students, we have one elementary school, one intermediate, one middle, one high school. They go to school together, like pre-K through 12th grade.
I'm sure that
Everybody
has
knows
its
each
own
other.
pros and cons.
And it's
Okay,
yes,
tell us
it does.
about the Clique Collaborative and that experience for you. Like, when did you join? And yeah, let's just start with that. When did you join? Like, how long have you been in it? Okay.
I have my notes over here, so if I'm glancing, then so I don't forget things. I joined in August of this past year, so 2022. I got here because like I said, I love my students and I love my job. I love where I am. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. But I did feel like before this year, I haven't been able to implement any kind of proactive school counseling program for lots of different reasons. Administrative changes, teamwork kind of things before this year. But this year I have a new co-counselor and she is amazing and it's amazing. And she's on board with, what we want to do. And we have the same vision for our school and our students. And so it's just been like pretty game changing. And so joining the Clique Collaborative has really energized me to implement a lot of things that I've wanted to do for a long time and just haven't had the support
like, this
to do
is
it.
my year. It sounds like the stars aligned with admin, a new counselor, and then the energy that like you already had but just hadn't harnessed yet. It sounds like.
Yes. It's kind of like it is like the stars aligned. Like we have supportive admin. I have very supportive teachers. I have a co-counselor who's willing to jump in and do the things that we need to do for our students. So
I feel like you
wonderful.
have been around this Instagram space for a little bit. Like, we've been friends in DMs for a long time. So it's like, what made you join this time compared to, I mean, it's been around since the year before. Like, you were just feeling like, okay, I'm not ready to like dive into something. I'm just trying to keep my head above water, or like, what made it perfect?
Yes. I was feeling very overwhelmed, very overworked. I didn't feel like I could do like one more thing, but I wish that I would have before now, because like that one more thing would have been helpful to me in the long run. So I just feel like now I have the time and the energy to put into, delving into the resources and doing the things that I've wanted to do. And I feel like everything that you put out somehow is like what I'm thinking about at that moment, or like, what I've talked with my co-counselor about, like we need to, work on this or implement this program or small group or whatever. And then like, there it is. And it's really weird.
What, I was thinking, when you said it's like you didn't want it to be one more thing, have you felt like it has been an overwhelm of another thing, or it has complemented kind of like what you said? You've been thinking, I want to do this, but like maybe I want to like talk about that idea, and then you have like the podcast as like a resource.
No, I do not think it's been overwhelming at all. Like, because it's very much like a do at your own pace kind of thing, or do on your own time. I feel like if it was, okay, you have to be on this at this time and this, on this date, that gets a little bit hairy with all the other things. So I think being able to listen on my own time and go through things, the resources, and kind of have time to peruse them on my
like you can go back if you're
helpful.
Like, okay, I want to do an advisory council, but now is not the season. And then that season rolls around or you have
Right.
the headspace,
I have
you go
so
back
many
to that month
podcasts
because it was during
saved.
your time in the
Mm-hmm.
membership, but like you didn't have time at that point. So you can kind of
Yes.
pick and choose what applies to you,
Right.
but I try and make it like timely to that time of year when it would make sense. But like you said, you can go back and do it at your
Right.
leisure when it does make sense for you.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And like I've saved so many podcasts because I'm like, okay, when this time rolls around, you know, like for the senior meetings, I'm like, okay, I have my notes, but I need to go back and have this as like on
like
hand for next
top of
year when
mind
we're
when
doing
you get
that.
to that,
you know,
you're ready to for that to be the thing that you implement that semester or something. Like if you, that is your goal, then you have
Yes.
the resources
Yes.
there to achieve that. Has there been a topic in the membership that's been
Right.
your favorite or that has stood out to you as something that was meaningful to you in your program?
Yes. A couple of things. One of the topics that I really enjoyed was the help with IEP session that you did. I am good friends with my best coworker friends are all like in the special education profession somehow, teachers, school psychologists, all of that kind of thing. So I feel like it was really helpful for me to see their perspective on things and be able to, I feel like we work well together, but just to have a different perspective and a different way to help students with them too. I feel like that was very a different
and that one was
that
a guest speaker
before.
like it was Catherine Witcher
yes.
from the Master IEP and she like trains people to be advocates for their students around the IEP table, and I love that one because it like we've had a couple guest speakers. Hers was more of like an interview together, and so I felt like I could be like the mouthpiece of the high school counselor saying like, this is what we're thinking and feeling, help us understand you, we'll help you understand us. And that felt like a collaborative conversation that like everyone kind of got to be a part of, just like be a fly on the wall watching it happen.
Yes, agreed. I also like my favorite resource that I've gotten from the Clique Collaborative has definitely been the curriculum map that you mentioned earlier. It's like I am a very organized person. Like that's my personality type. I have my pens and Sharpies and all the things in like Roy G. Biv order. Like that's how my closet is. Like it's a little weird, but like that's my thing. So I've never been able to pin down a system for like taking all the responsibilities and the tasks and the things that we do all year into like a cohesive plan where it's all together. Like I feel like it's always just been, you know, a running Google Doc that's kind of hard to keep track of things. So that has been like
and you saying that I forgot,
for me. It's been amazing.
A tab on there. There's like the filled out template, the like blank you can fill in your own template, and then the other tab with the responsibilities that like give some suggestions of like what you're doing throughout the year, and then you and your co-counselor can probably you put your name in there and you can filter so you can see like which things am I responsible for. This is me,
this is her.
First semester, and which things am I responsible for 3 times a year or once a quarter or something. And the bigger your team gets, I feel like the more vital that is too. But even toggling between 2 people, you kind of know what each other are working on the whole year.
And that just means, you know, with 2 of us, we have more things to divide between 2 people. So it is easier to keep track of, and just the ability to put my own stuff in there. So like, you know, you link to a lot of your resources, which is super helpful. But also like I can put like, you know, things that I have in my Google Drive in the same, like link in the same place. So it's all in the same area, and I don't have to remember when I saved it or like what I called it, because like that's always a thing, and I don't have to search through my Google Drive. It's just all there.
Have there been like major changes that you've made to your program as a whole, or any like new programs that you've implemented from ideas that you've gotten from the membership?
Yes, small groups for sure. I am embarrassed to say that I have not run a small group on my own.
You do not
since
have to be embarrassed.
I
think that is so common in high school.
But I felt guilty about it because I knew that it needed to happen, and it just never, like I was either at a school that was like, no, we're not doing that, or I was the testing coordinator and there wasn't time to do anything else besides that. Or, you know, it's just been like the same kind of thing with getting this new co-counselor, like I didn't have the support from other coworkers. So This year last semester we
Was
did a
it so
first gen small
rewarding?
group. That was your first gen small group, and it
Yes.
was wonderful. It was wonderful. And this semester we're going to do it again, kind of like,
Yeah.
start over with a new group, but
I
we're going
love
to do
that
it
for
with
the
juniors instead of
springtime.
with seniors. Um, I
Yeah.
I think it makes more sense for the spring. But also we have a program with a community college that we partner with, and they do a group for first gen students. That's their senior year, and that goes along with
Okay.
like a scholarship at the end and this kind of thing. So we're also going to
Yes.
use this for juniors as like a recruiting tool. So for like to kind of lead into that program. So I'm excited about it. Like, it was so nice to be able to meet with students once a week in like a planned,
Yes, and those
positive
students like
way.
will do anything to be there for that extra help. It's so cool to see
Mm-hmm.
students who want to learn and grow and take what you're teaching
Yep.
them and go apply it. And I was just thinking about this the other day, that first gen small group is like one of the most tangible. You have like very tangible data
Mm-hmm.
points that come out of it that you get to brag on students
Yep.
about, and you get to like lift them up and say, look how many schools you applied to, look at how much scholarship money you got.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is incredible, the data that comes out of it, but also like the encouragement that you get from helping students who actually like really want to be there and really want to grow.
Yes. And it's a lot of
Yep.
information that we give students all the time anyway. It's just concentrated in a group of students who are interested in
Yes,
being
for
there
sure.
and getting the
And once
information.
you probably did the one in the fall, it gave you some confidence and momentum, like, hey, we could do this again. Like, with a different group of students, you're still helping
Mm-hmm.
students, and you don't have to like plan anything new. You just get to rinse and repeat.
Yeah, we've already done it once, so we just
and
get
I
to
feel
do
like
it
that is
again.
a great way to jump into small groups, is like, do the same thing a couple of times. It's going to be a different experience with their different personalities, and having a junior group versus a senior group, like all of that is going to be a little different. So like, you're not going to get bored. It's not going to be stale. It's going to be fun. I love it. How would you describe the Clique Collaborative to another counselor or your co-counselor or counselor friend?
I would describe it as really like, because you said tangible, and this is already written down, like the best and most tangible resource for high school counselors. I feel like a lot of times, things aren't tailored for us very well. Like, it's just not, high school counselors are a different thing than being an elementary school or a middle school counselor. So not that you can't get things from those resources, but there's just so much community support in the Clique Collaborative. And if you don't have that in your work life, like if you are by yourself, or you just have one counselor, or maybe your group is not on the same page as you, like, it's just a really good support. And also you get resources that are tailored to what we do every day, and they are effective with high school students. So it's like really been one of the best choices professionally that I've made. That makes my heart
so happy to hear, Katie. Thank you so much. I feel like those were like most of the questions I had for you. Was there anything else we didn't talk about that you wanted to add?
I don't think so. I think that, I really enjoy the podcast also. Like, I know that's not just for the Clique Collaborative, but I really enjoy your podcast. I like the episodes length, because it doesn't, I can listen to that while I'm walking and, doing other things. And I feel like I get something from every episode.
And I would say that if, like, to anyone who likes the podcast, the membership is like a deeper dive of that. So like, where the podcast episodes are 10, maybe 20 minutes, like at the longest, then you go a deeper dive into a topic that is focused, like you said, for high school counselors. Like, yes, you can pull things from elementary and middle school and make it apply, but like, the reason why small groups are hard is because logistics are so different in high school. Like, we get that as we're talking about that. And so all of the teachings are in a private podcast, so you can kind of just catch up, save the ones that you want to too, like from month to month, and listen in the exact same way that you listen to the podcast. So
yes.
I would say if you enjoy the podcast, then it's more of that and a deeper dive inside the membership. Cool.
Yes.
Well, thank you for your time on here. This was awesome. I didn't see any other like questions. People were, there we go. People were like interacting in there and stuff.
I know we
froze. Any other questions? So if you have any other questions, feel free to send me a DM or comment on this after the fact. but cliquecollab.com is how anyone can join the membership, and doors close tonight at midnight. So I would love to see anyone else new inside there. And Katie's already paid for a year, so she'll still be in there. You can connect with her inside the membership too. So
Yep.
Thank you so much. Oh,
and I'll be joining next year. So
thank you so much. Thank you for carving out 25 minutes of your time.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it, Katie. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, you're welcome.